plain and simple, I got ghosted left and right. I got rejected many times. And there's a lesson in it for you. And I think you'll find great value in this. Because, goodness sake, although it was fun, I took more risk. I got a lot more volume out of everything. And with more volume comes more rejection. That's just part of the game, okay? So let me start with what I did differently on that week to make it more good, make it better. First of all, I joined a Meet.com event. So essentially, it was sort of a pub crawl. So going through a couple bars, 3 bars in total, just $2 to get in, literally. You even get a free shot, you get to play some games. But I went there by myself. And when I arrived there, it was in Itaewon. It was really crowded at the time. And yeah, I was there by myself. But one thing I did really good is that as soon as I got in, I got you need to put a name tag to know that we're in this event. I don't know if the name tag played a trick, but it made me so much more social. I guess it goes back to what I said the last video about context. When context makes sense socially, well, you're not going to be you're not going to have this sort of force holding you back to not approach when you do it, because it makes sense contextually to approach. So I did that, and first person I saw said, "Hey man, what's up?" Shook his hand, started talking. Great guy. We still chit chat here and there. It's good to make guy friends, you know. And then after talking for about a few minutes, I decided to, hey, let's go meet other people. So both of us, we went to another group, introduced ourselves, started mingling here and there. There were a few girls in that event. There was one which I didn't pay much particular attention to in the beginning, but I was just so non-attached and just focused on having a good time. Perhaps I'd give a good impression. Oh, look at this. Interesting. Yeah. And from there, I just talked to everybody. Everybody I could talk to, I did. And it's easy. It's a good opener. Like, oh, where you're from. There were a lot of people from Korea, surprisingly. And yeah, then we went on to the second bar. And this is where it gets a little bit interesting. There was this girl. I'm not gonna name her in anything, but let's call her girl number 2. So she was late to the first bar, and I guess she saw me walk in, and to be honest, I was really relaxed. I was chill. Like, I didn't have this sort of tension. Like, I remember when I was younger and I would go to bars, I would always get in my head. I would always look around, nervously, scanning, seeing if people were judging me and so on. I just went in like it was my home, basically. So I did that, and a couple minutes after, she came up to me. She was really pretty. And she was like, "Hey, are you in this event or whatever?" I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" She was like, "I mean, you were so calm, you looked like you were chill." So I guess my presence, how I was just so, not free, but kind of unattached, it gave a good impression. It made me more approachable. Like I didn't have an agenda, so to speak. And yeah, she couldn't help but come up to me, just asked me some questions and started asking me where I was from and all of that. She was kind of almost investing in the conversation. And after a while, the conversation died down a little bit. She went and sat down further at the bar. So I'm like, okay. She was saying she was going to move across the world in 2 months, and she wanted to meet foreigners. So take it as a hint, whatever that means, okay? And I took another shot later, like 10 minutes after. I went up to her. I just typed, because it was so loud in the bar, I typed like, "Are you already bored or something?" And she was saying like she was hungry and her feet were hurting and all that. So I tried to pull an invitation to grab something to eat, which I think was one mistake I did. Like I jumped right away to try to make plans. I seemed too perhaps eager. She was kind of like saying yes, kind of like a half yes, and we started talking some more. And I kind of lost my train of thought here, but yeah, we talked some more, and essentially when I came to say, hey, let's go, she said, no, she's meeting with a friend. So very flaky here. I shouldn't have pushed that at all. So yeah, we just I got her contact. She said, nice to meet you. Then she left. Nothing more of it. So then we came to the second bar. And, no, the third bar. So that was more of a loud club. Like, very loud. And to be fair, it was a bit in my head. Like, I'm not used to this club setting. Like, I haven't been out in, like, months. Like, I'm talking 6-7 months that I haven't been in, like, a club. I've been in little bars here and there, but, like, clubs like that, oof, no. So I kind of did my thing. I was just kind of standing around and kind of vibing with the music. And that first girl, I said like I was kind of unattached when I approached her, and then I didn't think too much of it. Well, she kind of came back, and she was a bit touchy because it was a dance floor and not much space and all that. I'm like, okay, interesting. And then shortly after, you could tell she was popular at the bar. There was a few guys trying to get after her. There was this particular guy. It was a Korean guy. You know, back home, if you would look at a guy who's wearing perhaps like metal militia t-shirts with like a flat cap and like a big chain and freaking how do you call it? Fucking thing you put in your ears. He's like the type of guy where you look at him and you don't want to look at him, because if you do, he's gonna think you want to fight him, and then unnecessary trouble. That type of energy guy. He was all over her, like trying to buy her drinks and stuff, and had like his hand on like the neck and stuff. He was really aggressive. But I guess she didn't really complain. She kind of probably just enjoyed the drinks and whatever. So it was, yeah, I just kind of walked around. I was like this close to leave. I spent maybe another 30 minutes. I tried to chat up some girl at a random table. And then all of a sudden this random guy who looked way younger than me, not as good looking to be honest, but I guess he was just in such a good vibe. He was dancing and all that, and she came straight up to him. Like straight up. So I'm like, wow, I got gamed by this young dude, unattractive dude. So it was kind of funny. It was like, okay, I still got some shit to prove. I was a little pissed off, to be honest. And then I kind of made my way to another table, like a standing table. And there she is, that girl who was with the guy with the the crazy neck grab or hand grab, whatever. And she's like, do you want to go to another bar? Me, since I was about to get out of here, I was like, okay, let's go outside. Then we started chatting. We got in line to another bar, and conversation really flew well. We were talking close to each other. Music was still loud. And yeah, we ended up spending the entire evening at that bar. And we found other people to mingle with. But once in a while, we were dancing close together and all of that. And at the end of the night, we ended up making out for a little bit. Got her number. She said, text me, so I did. The following day, I believe. And then we chit-chatted here and there. It was playful, nothing serious. Like when you text, that's the thing. You never want to have these serious topics. And that's where I think people fumble the most. Is they go into this trance of like, hey, how are you? Oh, what you're doing today? Just gibberish. That doesn't really make anything memorable. You just want to keep it light, joke around, perhaps reference stuff that you guys done, the night before, whatever. So we ended up going on a date. So the date got cut short because she had family obligations. So she had, not going to get into the details, but the date ended up being just a picnic. And that's where I wanted to push back a little bit. And that's where I thought we had plans for longer than that. So I had something planned for the evening, which she kind of agreed to. But during the date, she got the call and then she had to leave. Completely understandable. So the date was about 3 hours only. And yeah, it kind of ended abruptly. So there wasn't like much chances to do any escalation physically. Time was short. Daytime, as you know, is not always best for escalation. That's why I'm not a big fan on day dates, right? Because there's less of a romantic setting for something to make something happen, right? Like, as far as if you have the choice, absolutely go for like a night date. Otherwise, just let her hang out with her gay male best friends and her girls in the daytime. Like, unless you're together, sure. But first dates, dude, do something fun, quick, go to multiple places. Like, start with perhaps drinks, then move on to something fun, like a physical activity, an arcade, mini golf, bowling, whatever it is, right? Then it'll give the effect that you've gone on multiple dates already. She can see you in different settings. It feels like she's getting to know you quickly, right? So that usually ends on a good note. If you play your cards right, if you focus on just having fun, staying present, usually goes pretty damn well. So that's why the goodbye felt a bit abrupt, a little bit awkward, but I could sense that she was initiating, like wanting a hug and all that. So I did, and I spinned her around with my hand just to make fun. She was kind of like reaching for my hand after the hug, so I kind of held on to it. And then yeah, it just ended on a good note still. And then I got like these, I've talked to a few Korean guys, and they tell me that when you date a Korean girl, it's important that in the beginning, you text every day. I was really on the fence about that. Because, as a Canadian, American, usually you don't really text every day. You just kind of text to set up the dates. And so I did text her a day after. I know, guys, but I talked to like 3-4 different Korean guys. They don't know each other, and they're great guys. They all have a girlfriend. Some of them are married. And they told me it's important to text every day. So I did. I sent her a playful text about what we did on the date. And no fucking response. Like nothing. So I was really taken aback by that. Because how can you have it was a great date. Like she was laughing at my stupid jokes. She was touchy here and there, like, slapping on the shoulder every time you would do a joke. One point even touching the inside of my knee. Right? So all these cues were good. Right? We just focused on having a good time. No serious topic, just pure fun. Going from there to the next day, being treated like you're just general waste, like just trash, like you don't even exist. Like I don't even want to respond to you. And I tried one more text. I tried to acknowledge the cultural differences, just saying that I wasn't the best at showing that I had a good time with you, and I wanted to see you again. And yeah, it's been quite a while since then. It's been about 5 days, no response. So I just assume now that she has zero interest. Oh, I don't want to get copyrighted there. Shut up. Yeah. But there could be a million things in the background that you don't know about. There could be an ex lurking. That can happen. Okay? Maybe they're fucked up sometimes, right? Emotionally avoidant. So every time something starts getting real, they eject. That can happen too, right? Or it could be a massive change in their lives. Like, for example, she was on a vacation, and the day after the date, that's where she started her lectures again. Like, intense, like scheduled. I'm like 10 hours a day, right? So maybe that played a part into it. Maybe me waiting an extra day before sending her a text went against the cultural norm, I guess, and maybe she saw that as a sign of low interest. Could be a million reasons, but I did find myself that I analyzed way too freaking much. Like I was getting so in my head. I was trying to find every detail. What have I done during the date? What I could have done. Oh, I should have kissed her in that moment. And man, I played a million scenarios and I was drained as hell. Like I was so tired. I almost felt depressed. I needed to get this out of my system. I went to the gym and it just still eating well, trying to sleep good. It overwhelmed me with so much thought, because it happened to me a few times. It did happen to me in Canada, like back to back. And sometimes you just beg to wonder, am I the problem? Honestly, like, not to brag, I don't think I am. I don't think I'm needy. I'm not, like, I'm never, like, investing too much. Perhaps I'm too laid back. I don't know. Or maybe they do feel that maybe I get attached, or that I'm starting to like them. It's not something I say out loud. Maybe it's in my demeanor. Or maybe, like I said, it has nothing to do with me, but everything to do with them and how actually ready they are for a relationship. Because maybe they're not, right? Maybe they like the idea. Maybe they like the excitement of it in the beginning, but then when it starts getting real, they eject. Because they want to save face. They don't want to have this conversation that they're not ready and that they thought they would be. And then when they meet a cool guy like you, well, at first it's exciting, but after that they soon realize that, oh shit, no, I'm still kind of fucked up. Maybe that's it, right? But assume something fucking hilarious and make it true in your head. It's like, I'm so fucking awesome, and that's why she ejected, because I overwhelmed her with how cool I was. I'm just the best fucking guy she ever met, and she couldn't handle me. So that's why she's gone. So yeah, you can take it as that. Maybe one day they'll text you back. Maybe they won't, but who fucking cares? You got a life to live. There's someone else that you can meet that is probably better. And she's also available. But you got to go through a lot of volume. And I think that's, I'm not going to sugarcoat this, but I've been doing a lot more volume here than I was doing back home. Back home was kind of like getting what would come up to me. So I would kind of just settle for when I had interest shown to me. But now I'm kind of taking action instead and try to get more volume in, taking more risks. And with more risks will come more bullshit encounters, right? And oh yeah, the second ghost, it was that girl from the second bar that I tried to go to eat with her, and she thought I was calm and cool, collected when she saw me at the bar. That's why she came up to me, that girl. Well, I texted her randomly one day. I said, oh, I had blood sausage. I'm not gonna lie, it was very good. I just said that. I just threw a jab to see if she would catch it and reply. Just kind of a way to see if she's gonna bite, And she did. She laughed and she said, oh, I'm glad you liked it. Then she asked me how was my day. So I said that now, since I'm building a schedule, a routine, I feel like now I'm more of a 4 out of 10 foreigner, just as a joke, right? And then I asked her, what about yours? Anything exciting? And she said, actually, I'm still working, but tomorrow is a day off. Then she said, what are you doing tomorrow? Okay. What am I doing tomorrow? Well, I had this first date with the other girl. So what I said was, I already made some plans for tomorrow, but I'd like to see you. What is your rest of the week looking like? Okay, nothing bad about that, right? Just kind of gently refused, because I had plans, right? My world is not gonna stop because a pretty girl asked me what I was doing tomorrow. Guess what? After 8 days, still no response. Like, how funny, weird is that, right? Even when they're gonna show some type of interest, they can still ghost. There's no logic to this, okay? Maybe she was offended by that. Maybe she's not being told no often enough. And she just scratched down the list and went to the next one, the next guy. The next guy who would gladly say yes, the safe choice. That's what I think is up in Korea. It's such like a stressful pace over there. And don't get me wrong, there's lots of cool guys here. Masculine guys, Korean guys. But majority are like soft looking feminine boys who dress as well. And these are safe guys. They text every day, right? They're very gentle in their approach. They're safe. And perhaps, you know, Korean woman grew up with kind of like this sort of dynamic. So they think this is like normal, which our version of normal version is the opposite, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But perhaps when they meet someone like me, which is more on the masculine side, more muscle, more, I guess, I'm perceived more as dangerous in some way. I'm not, guys. I'm just a normal guy who lifts weights every now and then. But perhaps this doesn't signal very much safety and stability. Because it's like, he's this foreigner guy. A lot don't know that I'm living here now. But that could play a factor as to why they might be curious at first. They might have a conversation with you. But when it comes to setting plan or something like that, well, that's when they kind of take a step back. It's like, oh, okay, this is actually getting real. And I'm not sure I want this. So instead of addressing it, feeling like they've wasted your time, well, they're just gonna not respond anymore. Just forget it, you know. That could happen too. But yes, that's not to say that I think there's Korean women that are attracted to what I have to offer. And I think it's just a matter of time and volume, right? But I'm not trying to put excuses or anything. But it's just an observation I've noticed. But I'm gonna keep being me. Actually, I think I'm not gonna do this texting every day thing. I'm just gonna be me, man. Do what I do normally. And if they want to address it, address it. But I'm not gonna be a pushover and text you good morning every freaking day. Like, that doesn't make any sense. If she does, yeah, sure, I'll reply back. It's not something I'm gonna constantly initiate. Right? At some point, the chase flips, right? You're chasing a little bit in the beginning. Of course, you want to set up a first date. But after a little while, they start chasing. They want your attention all the time. And that, I think, is a healthy relationship. So yeah, 2 ghosts the same week. But I got a date out of that, so it was okay. We're making progress, I would say. And today, the video's getting long. I'll talk about that maybe in another video. Fuck it, should I? I mean, if you've been watching for this long, guys, you're the MVP. But there was this girl at my gym. She's working there. She's a trainer. And for the last 3 weeks, man, wow. She's in shape. She's good looking. She's very friendly. And she's been saying hi to me every time I saw her. One time I was like at the opposite end of the gym, and she went out of her way to come to where I was. and say hi. Say hi to me. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then she went back to her workout. So I thought that maybe there's some interest in there to explore. I was trying to navigate how I would go about asking her out. You see tons of videos out there, don't approach into gym pro. Dude, what if she says no? You're not gonna die. If you just go about it, you're a gentleman, you just ask her. What if she said no? What if she says no? That's fine, you can still go work out. You're not gonna have a restraining order or whatever the fuck that you can no longer train at the gym. Oh, but what if it's awkward? Who fucking cares? Do your thing and leave. Whatever. Okay, going back. So yeah, I took a few signals there. Like one time she was trying to help me find creatine on Coupang, which is an app, right? So, because I was trying to buy creatine, I didn't know how. Her English is not that great. It's okay, she can understand some, but we had to communicate through like translation and stuff. And yeah, other times, like today, for example, I told myself I'm gonna try today to get her phone number and do something. So as I was working out on the squat rack, the staff room was close by, so I saw her come in, and as I was resting, she came back out on the gym floor. We locked eyes. I said hi with a smile. She did the same. Then on the squat racks, there were like 10. Most of them were empty. What she did, she decided to pick the one next to mine. I was like, okay, game on. Game on. So I saw her train her clients, and I was a trainer before, and I could really tell that she cared about training her clients. She was really, her cues were great, the way she was communicating to her clients, so it was genuine compliments. But before that, I chit-chatted about what she's working out today, and so on. And in between sets, I would do my set, and I would chit-chat again. And then I went for that genuine compliment, because I thought that time was running out, and I needed to act quick. Otherwise, it's going to be too long and awkward. So I translated that. But before I jokingly rehearsed a Korean line. I said, "You're living in the gym, right?" Because she's always there. I said that in Korean. That made her smile, and I proceeded that with that compliment. She was really moved by it. She thought it was a nice compliment, and she asked me about me being a trainer before. So I was just training at a CrossFit gym and so on. So she kind of reciprocated, asked me about me being a trainer. So I thought, hey, she's investing in the conversation for a little bit. And then I asked, I said, oh, we only say hi in here. What's your cacao? Like, what's your number? I want to take you out for drinks when you're not busy at the gym. And yeah, she said, oh no, I have a boyfriend. So I kept my cool. I was not like, oh, like, don't do that. Okay, that's just weak behavior in my opinion. I'll just say, oh, no worries, 괜찮아요. And then I said, nice to meet you. And then I went back to my set. Then as I was doing my set, she was like, okay, bye-bye, have a good workout. Said the same. So it wasn't awkward. She initiated the goodbye after, so she moved on to the next machine. And I did my thing. She was working out shoulders, right? A little bit of back, she said too. Well, I just saw her working out back a little bit. But I don't remember hearing glutes in her workout. And as I was doing my last exercise, I was doing tricep extensions. Well, there she was on the machine next to me doing glutes. And she only did one set. Just one set. And then left. I just thought it was interesting. Because, you know, you're purposely going on a machine next to me, targeting a muscle group just for one set, and then leaving. It's almost like perhaps you wanted to check if I would try to talk again or just be in my orbit for some reason. Maybe she liked the attention. Maybe I'm in her mind. Just overheated there. Yeah, maybe she has a boyfriend. Maybe she doesn't have one. Maybe it was like a procedure that trainers cannot date members in the gym, or, you know, could be anything. Maybe she's just not interested at all, and all these cues I've been observing means jack shit. I doubt it though. I doubt it. I think I'll be in her mind for a little bit. But I'm just glad I shot my shot. And I think she respected that, because I just said it in a matter-of-fact way. I kept my good tonality. I didn't say it in like people-pleasing sort of behavior, ending up in an uptone, right? You want to go out? Like, just matter-of-fact, chill. I felt good. I felt present. I didn't feel nervous at all. And I think that's why perhaps she orbited back to where I was working out and did a random ass exercise next to me. I don't know. But what I know is that I'll be back in that gym and we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, these were my latest sort of encounters, so to speak, in South Korea. And I hope you got some lessons out of that. I hope you got a good laugh maybe out of that. Just wanted to let you know, bro, that you're not alone, that we all get ghosted. We all get this weird bullshit, inexplicable events that we cannot comprehend. But don't overanalyze it. Don't get sick, right? The best remedy is just to go out there, talk to someone else. Whether it's guys, girls, make friends, talk to more girls, prettier girls, shoot your shot. You'll feel that surge in testosterone in you. You'll feel freaking alive. That's living, my friend. Failure, shooting your shot anyway, despite how you're feeling, but never get too isolated to the point where you analyze everything, you get depressed, and then you fall into this loop where you're tired, you don't want to take action, and life just sucks. Don't do that. Just wake up, ask yourself, what's the plan now? Do something, at least go outside, get some steps in, start just making, and just get in momentum that way, and your life could change. Just don't look at the big picture. Look at it day by day and try to get a little bit better each day. Catch you next time.